Hello guys and girls, this is Rant here, and welcome to this rant video. Now I want to say before I get started that if you don't want to see me happy and hear my voice when I'm happy, I suggest waiting till Monday, because then it will come out a video that hopefully will be more cheerful than what you're about to hear. With that out of the way, I also want to apologize for the fact that there's no fancy footage here, but I just need to get this said, okay? So, basically, there have been quite a bit of a thing going on in Sweden currently with a thing that happened in the place called Trollhättan. Now, here's the short way to put it. There was a man who went in to a school wearing a mask, and as far as I get it, he either had a knife or a sword, and he killed, I think, 3 and harmed 5, and made the school close for 10 days. And now, that was a big news, and it made me think, oh my goodness, because it happened right before Halloween. Can you imagine all the kids that were like, oh yes, I'm gonna suit up for Halloween, I'm gonna go trick-and-treating, I bought this mask with money that I scrapped together, and then this happens, and it means that they won't be going out with that mask that they bought, because it had been such a thing, and that means that people won't look at masks the same way in quite a while, and even more so now, and I'll come to that later. But anyhow, so that was the big news, and I'm already mad at this point at news, because they always give these bad stories. They tell us, this catastrophe, this catastrophe, and there was this little tiny good thing. It was kind of a big deal, really. It helped a lot of people, but forget that. It was this big catastrophe yesterday or a week ago, reported by a little kid. Yeah, that's more important than that good thing by a proper reporter. Like, seriously, I'll name an example on that kind of stuff later, but oh my goodness, I need to get this stuff out. So, this happened, and I enjoy masks. I bought masks recently to fix with them, and then this happens, and 11 days later actually, on the radio, on the way home from school, I hear on the radio about the fact that this have opened again. And I'll try to citate this, and it will be in Swedish, so I'll describe afterwards what it is. Here's what a reporter said. Jo, de har öppnat skolan nu, och det är många barn här som är glada faktiskt åt att se sina klasskamrater och lärare igen. Men det fanns också många som var ledsna, och en flicka som grät. Okay, so let me try to say that in English. There are many kids here that were happy to see their classmates and their teachers again, but then again there was many that wasn't happy, and there was one that cried. One cried. Many were happy to see their classmates and teachers again. A few were not happy to come back. What the heck? And did you hear that I sped up my voice? That was not faked. That was actually in the thing. He sped up to get to the bad news. What the hell? Seriously, what the heck? Why would you do that? Why would you hurry to get to the bad news? If the population of a country is depressed and stuff, what? Why would you try to fuel that? It don't make sense. But that kind of flipped my lid. If that's the correct word. It was the last thing to make. It's just not going to. I'm not gonna stand for it anymore. So I called up radio, actually. I've tried many times, but I just don't get to the correct person. And I still try, but god damn it. It's so annoying. And now it have happened a new thing. I heard on the radio just now. Because right now, I'm coming back from school right now, and I haven't eaten yet, so I'm actually hungry right now, but I need to get this out of the way. But there have been a man going into a shop, like a food store, called Coop, and he was wearing a ninja suit and armed with a sword. What the heck? Is there someone trying to fuel this shit to make it go exploding? What the heck? Seriously, what? What? Like, the masks isn't a thing. I feel like there needs to be someone who walks into a shop wearing a mask and just goes about the regular business, buying the groceries that you need, like bread, maybe milk, or something like that. Then go into the cashier, and buying the stuff, paying for it fully legally, and then walking out, doing the regular stuff. To prove that the mask don't make the person makes the mask. I mean, I design masks and I have fun designing these little slingery stuff on them, and it's so creative. You can do so much with a mask. And then there's these people who actually take the mask, they put it on, they commit a crime, and they ruin freaking stuff. So if any of you are in Sweden right now and want to cosplay as Mosky from Creepypasta fandom, Marble Hornets more exactly, don't do it, please. I'm begging you, don't cosplay as Mosky. It will give you really bad consequences in Sweden right now. The situation is just too tense, so don't risk it. Though I'd love if someone could do that, Stan. I don't want anyone to get hurt. So yeah, that's the thing that I'm just getting really mad at. And then, as you heard before, I said that about a little kid's news. And here's the thing. I've read a thing in, I think it was Swedish that I read it. There was a news article about YouTube and bad videos on there. Now, here's the interesting part. That Ed, quote, "Det är viktigt att barn inte får se såna skräpfilmer." Which is basically, it's important for kids not to see such trash stuff. And the thing is, this article was written by an 11-year-old kid. An 11-year-old wrote that kids shouldn't see stuff that is like these big cartoon characters for kids stabbing themselves, taking drugs, etc., all this bad stuff. I get that that's not a good thing for kids to see. But this kid is 11 years old. As many would say it, he's not supposed to be on YouTube to begin with. And goddammit, this was a newspaper. This was published in a newspaper that's big here in Sweden. What the heck? What? You take a bad news from an 11-year-old when you could send a good educated reporter to go and check up at what school does to help their students, what school does to change how they think in order to fit for people with special needs. You could send a good reporter to get some good news, but you take in a freaking article written by an 11-year-old saying that an 11-year-old kid said that kids shouldn't get to see this stuff. Then why did you see it, sir? It just gets me so mad. Right now I'm just clawing in the ear for this shit. Seriously, news, if you hear this and see this video, change up your tone. God damn it. The worst would be if I get to hear or see a news report about the population is depressed. Then I'm gonna be pissed, especially if they say that they don't know the reason, and even more so if they say that it may be because of bad news. If they say that, oh gosh, they are so freaking screwed. I'm just, I can't stand it. For all of you who have actually stood me ranting for like 8 minutes or something, oh my goodness, you're amazing for standing so long. I'm terribly sorry that you have to see this or have to hear this. You don't have to actually. You don't have to be here. You can choose not to see this video, but goodness, please help me get this through. If you're in Sweden, try to call the radios and TV news reportings and tell them about this and tell them about how they actually make the population depressed. If you're in another country, try to do the same if you have the same problem. If the news are just bad stuff, just try. We can do it. I've decided. I'm not gonna stand for it anymore. I know that I can change stuff, My mom have helped me through times when I have been in bad shape, and she haven't given up on me. Now it's time for me to actually change something. Do something in this world and change something to show people this world can be changed. People have done it before. We shouldn't give up. We can do it. God damn it, we don't change. We don't have to bend for society. If society tells us you need to change, you need to get into this shape like we want it to be. No, I'm not gonna stand for that. I'm gonna fight on. I'm gonna get this world to change for the better and get it so that people can live here and live in a future. If I die in a society that is still bad, I don't care if it's a bit better for the next generation. I will have succeeded in getting somewhere. I will have done something with my life that is worthwhile. I've also decided to become a teacher to show kids. I will be able to go into the classroom like, hey, I'm your new teacher. Hope we'll have a great time. And I am not gonna go like all the other people who said and teach you all that stuff in a boring way. I'm gonna tell you about how you can use this in your everyday life. And if you feel like you don't need it in your everyday life, just tell me and I will see what I can do to fix so that you can learn something that you see that you will be able to use in your everyday life and still live up to their expectations. I will manage. Somehow I'll become a teacher and I'll learn that the school don't have to be boring. I'll show that the school can be fun. I enjoy school and I want others to be able to see this happiness. Oh, my throat is really dry right now, so I'm sorry, but this just needed to get out of me. I just needed to say this. The mask don't make the person. These massacres just my goodness, I just hate it and it's wearing me down. I am getting really pissed at it. So please, can you spread this word about how news actually can make it really bad? How news should change up to step up their game and give us good news. Maybe a report about fun things. Give us reports about something good and make it at least equal to the amount of bad news. Here's a thing to end this off. Did you know that war in the world is decreasing, but news about war have actually increased? News are reporting more about war while it's going down. They're milking out that last bit that they can get. I'm not saying that news are diabolical. I'm not trying to give conspiracy theories, but this is an actual thing happening. I'm not saying that it's unchangeable. I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm saying that the news they send are mostly bad. Anyway, and this is Rant Rudolph. And if you somehow can manage, despite all this angriness that I just shouted out, stay happy. And until next time, see ya.